The House of Whispers. On a desolate stretch of road, a young man named Ethan was making his way home from a long day at work. The sky had been overcast all day, and as he drove, the first drops of rain began to fall. Within minutes, the rain turned into a torrential downpour, reducing visibility to almost nothing. Ethan strained to see the road ahead, but the storm was relentless. He knew he couldn't continue driving in such conditions. Just as he was about to pull over and wait out the storm, he noticed a faint light in the distance. Squinting through the rain-soaked windshield, he made out the silhouette of a large house standing alone in the field. With no other options and desperate for shelter, Ethan decided to make his way there. As he approached the house, the rain seemed to let up slightly, though the sky remained an ominous shade of gray. The house was a grand old structure, but it was clear that it had been abandoned for some time. The paint was peeling, the windows were boarded up, and the once beautiful garden was overgrown with weeds. Ethan hesitated for a moment, an uneasy feeling creeping up his spine. But the thought of waiting out the storm in his car was even less appealing, so he pushed open the creaking gate and made his way to the front door. To his surprise, it was unlocked. He stepped inside, calling out to see if anyone was there, but the only response was an echo of his voice. The interior of the house was as neglected as the exterior. Dust covered every surface, and cobwebs hung in the corners. Ethan made his way through the foyer, trying to shake off the feeling of being watched. He found a room with an old fireplace and decided to start a fire to warm him up and dry his clothes. As the fire crackled to life, Ethan felt a sense of relief. But just as he was starting to relax, he heard the faint whisper coming from somewhere in the house. He froze, listening intently. The whisper came again, louder this time, but still indistinct. Ethan's heart raced as he realized he might not be alone in the house after all. Gathering his courage, he decided to investigate the House of Whispers. He followed the sound through the dark hallways, up a grand staircase, and into a long corridor lined with doors. The whispers seemed to be coming from behind one of them. Slowly, Ethan reached out and turned the handle. The door creaked open, revealing a room that was surprisingly well preserved. Compared to the rest of the house, it was in pretty good shape. In the center of the room, there was an old writing desk, and seated at the desk was a translucent figure of a woman, her head bowed as if in deep concentration. Ethan gasped in shock. The figure slowly raised her head, and her eyes met his. She was ethereal, her form flickering like a candle flame. In a voice that was barely more than a breath, she spoke, "Help me." Ethan could not respond. The figure vanished, leaving him alone in the room with a sense of overwhelming sadness. He realized that the house was not abandoned, but haunted by the spirit of the woman he had just seen. Determined to uncover the truth, Ethan began to investigate the history of the house. He discovered that it had once belonged to a reclusive writer who was rumored to have gone mad after the mysterious disappearance of his wife. The locals believed that her spirit was still lingering in the house, unable to find peace. Ethan knew he had to help her. He delved deeper into the mystery, uncovering secrets long buried and confronting the darkness that lurked within the walls of the house. In doing so, he not only freed the spirit of the woman, but also uncovered the truth about what happened to her. As the storm outside finally cleared, Ethan left the house behind, feeling a sense of closure. He knew he would never forget his encounter with the House of Whispers, a place where the past refused to be forgotten.